What's up, all my plant lovers? Devin is here, and I wanted to provide a little bit of a garden update on my 3 favorite ground covers that I have planted around my yard. I made separate videos on all 3 of them, so if you want like a step-by-step tutorial, I'll leave some of the links up in the left corner throughout the video so that you can, if you're interested, click on those links, watch the full-length video on each one of these 3 plants. You guys know I love my ground covers. Ground covers, they're great for helping to suppress weeds. You know, they act like a living mulch in the fact that they kind of hold moisture in the soil pretty magnificently. They can help slow erosion. And when you pick good ones, like the 3 that I'll be showing you guys or updating you guys on in this video, they can provide evergreen looks all year round and even make some wonderful flowers. So the first one, oh yeah, and quick note, if this is your first time here, thanks for joining me on Plant Vibrations. Consider subscribing or liking the video if you enjoy the content. I'm a gardener in Zone 6B, just a little like 30 miles west of Philadelphia. So, you know, that's where I'm gardening and that's where these plants are growing. Anyway, so the first one, probably I don't know, I love all 3 of them. One of my favorites out of the 3 would be this guy. This is the creeping thyme. And what I love about this one is that this is the one that can handle the best foot traffic. It's super soft, it's fragrant, they will even flower. I planted these about 13 months ago, and since then they've started to beautifully fill in the area just around here. I'll show you some more areas where I have them planted. But what I love about this one is that it really is a great ground cover because it can handle that foot traffic. It's perfect to plant around your stepping stones. So this is like a path that I take frequently as I'm going through my garden. And so if I step on the plants a little bit, it's cool. If I didn't have the ground cover, you know, it would be more prolific. There would be more prolific weeds in between these stepping stones. So this helps keep the weeds at bay. Super winter hardy. I think this might be hardy to definitely to zone 5, perhaps zone 4 as well. But you know, if you start in the video, you will have noticed I started with kind of like small, like 2-3 inch like plugs, and they will definitely, each one of those can, you know, spread around 12 inches or so. And at this point, what I could do, you know, I'm just probably gonna leave it, but I could easily go in with like a little hand trowel, pick out a section of it and replant it somewhere else to help the garden bed fill in more quickly. I'm not gonna do that because I don't really care, but they're gonna continue to grow a little bit more. And it's absolutely fantastic, super drought tolerant. This is one of my sunniest areas of my garden. You can see I have, you know, some Shasta daisies here. I have like a hydrangea paniculata over here. This also has some lavender in this bed, some roses. So I get a lot of hot beating down sun here. Very great ground cover for that area of the garden. It loves the slope. It's a plant, doesn't want wet feet. What most ground covers don't like to be sitting, or actually all 3 of the ground covers in this video, they don't like to have wet feet. There's definitely some that do, not these ones. I like these because they are more drought tolerant. So, and I don't know if I mentioned, but they are, you know, edible. They're not great like to eat like that, but if you were in a pinch and you were making a little stew and you needed a little flavor, come out to your creeping thyme and do a little seasoning. Okay, so let me show you real quick some of the other areas around this bed that I have it planted so you can get kind of an idea of how, you know, to space them and how they kind of fill out. So let me show you. So of course you can see it here in between these stepping stones, so fantastic. And I've kind of just spaced them around 12, 18 inches apart. You can see I plant them around, I don't know, 12 inches away from the base of other plants in this garden bed, like these hardy geraniums. That was some wonderful echinacea we have over here. And so the idea is that you space them like this, and then over the course of maybe 3 seasons, they should fill out pretty nicely. So here you can see a really nice close-up. It's so soft. You could walk on this barefoot. rub your face on it. It's absolutely a delight. That's one of my favorite things about it. No pokies, pure soft bliss. So that's update number 1. Let's go to number 2, which would be hardy succulent sedum. Okay, so in this bed, from the video you would have noticed that I had these sedum mats which were growing basically a few different varieties of sedum on the cocoa fiber mats. You basically just cut it into little chunks, plant it just like that with the cocoa mat itself, and then they absolutely will do their best and spread out. So here you can see I have it planted on this, like, it's kind of like a raised bed kind of thing. This is not far from the thyme. It gets also lots of sunlight in the day. Just like the thyme and like this, I don't water these. I never water them. Rainfall is, the natural rainfall here in Westchester, Pennsylvania is sufficient. And some of the plants that I have combined with it would be my German bearded iris. I have some allium, another hydrangea paniculata back there. You can see that beautiful, that's a Niobe clematis in the very back. And also these, it's called Vivid Bright Dianthus, which needs to be cleaned up a little bit. Anyways, so what do I love about these ones? What I love most of all about these ones is that they really do spread quite magnificently, in the sense that, like, these have all like tripled in size. I planted these maybe last August, September, something like that, and they have like tripled in size. They're growing much faster than that time. Now, granted, this is not going to be able to handle foot traffic. I step on it once in a while and that's okay, but like the thyme, I can walk on that, like, you know, pretty much frequently, and it's fine. Doesn't handle the foot traffic as well. They are very winter hardy, also probably zone 5. So, you know, a lot of gardeners that are watching this can definitely grow it. It can also be grown probably down to zone, or up to zone 9. I guess that would, down in the south, but zone would be up. Okay, you get it. If you live further south, warmer than that, you have other gorgeous succulents to grow down there. But what is a couple things to note is that there are definitely in those like trays, like if you do like that mixed tray like I planted, there's gonna be probably one of the varieties that is like the most aggressive. And so you can tell this guy is probably the most aggressive of the bunch. And so it definitely seems to be the most prevalent around the garden. But so what's really cool is, you know, even though one of them is a little bit more aggressive than the others, you still get this gorgeous kind of array of textures and colors. This one has a nice, you know, this is like the tricolor. It has those creamy edges. Then I have this one, which kind of looks like a, it looks like a sort of conifer almost. I think this one might actually get golden color in the autumn time. And one of them is even starting to flower. So they bring gorgeous texture. They spread really fast. They're winter hardy. They're drought tolerant. And the animals and or wind will actually spread it to other places which you did not plant it, which may be a pro or con, depending on the way you see it. For me, I see it as a pro. I like having a little, it's cool. Why is this sedum here? I definitely didn't plant it here, but either a squirrel, chipmunk, or the wind blew a piece over here, it rooted and it grew. That's the cool thing, is like, if you do step on these and you kind of like bring some of it with you as you're walking, they definitely have the opportunity to reroot and grow wherever that may be. So I find like little pockets of it all over this area, which is kind of fun. I like it. And you probably will too, because it just creates more ground coverage and suppresses the weeds and just, you know, eliminates the need for mulch. It's great. That's what we love about the ground covers. And last but not least is the hardy iceplant. And this would be the Wheels of Wonder hardy iceplant, which are hybrids of Delosperma nubigeum, I believe, which is the hardiest of all ice plants. Should be hardy to zone 5, but to ensure that it is hardy in your zone, in your region, you really need to make sure that it is in a place where water will not puddle up or pool up or sit or stand in the wintertime. That will kill them. Now that's why it's kind of like on this little sloping section, which gets pretty beat down hot sunlight. Water does not pool up here. It does not stay, you know, at the base of these plants, and they love it. You can see they're all in flower. I planted these ones, so all the sedum and that thyme I planted last summer. This one I planted like 6 weeks ago, and they are filling out beautifully. They're full of color. It's absolutely stunning. And so they really haven't started to like spread yet, because it's the first season. There's, you know, as a perennial, it's gonna take some time for it to really start to spread. So it should absolutely fill out this entire area with gorgeous succulent foliage that's drought tolerant, winter hardy, sun loving, and full of color. Now they're just starting to finish blooming, probably here in the next few weeks they'll finish up. But the thing that allows them to bloom a really long time is they'll only bloom when the sun is out. And then, you know, if it's a cloudy day, they won't open their flowers. At night, they close the flowers back up. And that's kind of what allows them to stay in bloom longer than other perennials in the garden. And I think it's so fun. It's like, all right, the sun's out, time to party, time to dance, time to show my colors. And then night, all right, time to rest, time to go to bed. That's what these guys do. And let me just give you a little quick run of the colors so you can see it all. Look at all these gorgeous different colors. I think there's like 7 in total. I planted maybe 100 individual plants here. Didn't take that long. You just plant these small little plugs and then they just fill out gorgeously. I particularly like that white. I think it's outstanding, especially when you have all these other bright colors to pair with it. Let's take a closer look at these radial flowers. Look how pretty that is. Like the camera doesn't even want to enjoy all of its beauty. So phenomenal. Once again, these are the Wheels of Wonder series. Don't mind the weeds over here. I haven't gotten to this part of the garden yet to weed, but here you can see another little patch of the ice plant that I had planted with some hens and chicks over here, some sempervivum, as well as some Grasso lavender. So you can see some of the plants that are good companions for the ice plant. It's fantastic on slopes. It's a natural companion to rock gardens, rocky areas. It likes really poor soil, as do all 3 of these ground covers. They all have pretty similar growing conditions. Bad soil, they really don't care. They're not huge, they're not huge feeders. They don't need to be fertilized a ton. They're just absolutely stunning. The only thing that you really need to consider is buy a lot of them, because once you start planting them, you find that, okay, I could put some over there, I could put some over here, I could put some over here, and then it's like you just want more and more and more. So buy them in bulk. That's the way to do it. Buy them by the baker's dozen at the very least. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this little garden update on 3 great ground covers. Thank you guys for joining me here on Plant Vibrations. Stay tuned as we are bringing new plant videos every single week. If you have any topics you'd like me to discuss, any comments, any experiences, anything, just leave a comment below. I try to answer as much as I can. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. I got some weeds to pull, all right? Got some weeds to pull. Ciao.